we have the 4 top candidates who we just covered, and then 3 conceded. The only one who hasn't is the lowest polling candidate, Tony Thurmond. He is the Democratic current superintendent of public instruction. I just checked his Twitter account, or his X account, I should say. I've been checking my email, not seeing anything from his campaign so far. His results are far lower than everyone else's who's conceded tonight. So we'll wait on him, I suppose. But yeah, let's just unpacking this California governor's race. Let's check in with our analysts, Democratic strategist Steve Maviglio, Republican strategist Tim Rosales. Steve, I mean, is this governor's race so far shaking out to be what it was expected to in the last couple of weeks?
Pretty much, and I think we've seen from the speeches what we can expect to see over the next few months if it's Becerra and Hilton. Hilton has a problem, though, because he's a Republican in a Democratic state, and he doesn't seem to be moderating at all to attract Democrats that he needs to win. So we'll have to see how he modulates during the next few weeks.
Tim, how do you respond to that?
Well, I think it's going to be an interesting, next several months if it is indeed Becerra and Hilton. I think both of them can deliver a good speech, and I think have some clear policy areas where they differ. If it's them, I hope that we'll see a little bit different track than we've seen over the last couple gubernatorial election cycles, where Governor Newsom would debate the Republican on a Sunday morning on public access radio at 9 a.m. I hope we could have some robust debates, and that Becerra won't kind of take the Newsom approach, and I think it's going to be a good challenge for both of them.
On that note, I mean, Xavier Becerra, I mean, he didn't really make himself, available to journalists after several of the debates. I mean, speaking to that, I mean, do you see Democrats really coalesce? And I'm talking about Democratic voters who have clearly been split in this process, really coalescing around Xavier Becerra.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're going to see the same kind of campaign we saw in Prop 50. It's going to be Becerra versus Trump. It's not going to be Becerra versus Hilton. He's going to talk about Trump and his impact on California all day long, and remind people that Hilton has been endorsed by Trump.
How could Hilton break through?
Well, I think Hilton's got a personality and dynamic that certainly is a little bit different than what we've seen in the past gubernatorial candidates from the Republican side. And then talking about the issues in policy, because on some of those issues where Hilton is clearly talking about in terms of affordability and some clear plans there, he's going to see probably a little bit more acceptance from it's not just Republicans, but independents and even some Democrats that might say, hey, are we willing to give this guy a chance? But that's the critical thing in California. You have to find enough Democrats who are willing to say, give a Republican a chance, and that's a hard thing to do. Especially
with President Donald Trump in the White House. All right, Tim and Steve, Edie and Golston, we'll send it back to you.
Ashley, thank you.